My elbows are pointy. My posture is straight. My nipples are pegged. And BetterBank has rugged. Welcome back, baby dolls. I know, I'm sorry I got to laugh, but just right here we are. The 238 countdown. And it really was a countdown, wasn't it? I've told you, friends. Rid your mind. Free your mind of countdowns. They are all psyops. Today is number 238 day of the calendar year. It is the 238th day of the year. That became a big meme in PulseChain pDAI community. There was these hints something big was going to happen. And guess what? Something big did happen. BetterBank is pretty much rugged. Now, pDAI has gone to zero for a third time. It's funny, friends. On some liquidity pools, it actually went down to a price of 0.00238. It actually went there. Yeah. Some other liquidity pools have people going lower, but it actually went there. And it's funny. This drop was, I believe, 55% if I see the exact move. It's kind of funny. I saw it on another chart. So what happened? Okay, so it's all, look, let's get to the juice before, I don't want like, we're not going to waste time or do anything here. I'm giving you straight high value content. Okay. Highest value content. My odds of pDAI going to zero have now lowered. And my odds of pDAI going to $1 have raised. Okay, this has increased my confidence in pDAI. I see it as another vicious shakeout. And I'm just going to show you information here, pieces, some clues and stuff out here. Here's pDAI, would be the world's first natively decentralized ping pong coin. So next time you're in Thailand, you ask the ladies to do one of these for you. Okay. So the world needs a natively decentralized ping pong coin. It needs a coin where it has no risk of being blown out through a bridge, which we'll speak about through later. And yes, all these good things are coming. And I see this as another one big shakeout. So as you know, friends, okay, so BetterBank was an Aave V3 fork. And I have the website here. I think they have frozen, show frozen or paused assets. Okay, so they've frozen it or whatever. All right, so they have a supply and a borrowing area. Obviously, the APY, friends, you see how it says, just to teach you something, this is how you could get some clues that was very dangerous. There was 100% APY. Okay, 100% APY. But you might say, but Somi, Richard Hart's stuff was 40% APY for HEX back in 2020. Yes, Richard Hart, he designed HEX to kind of look like a scam because he wanted like new people to get in. Okay, that was part of the thinking. The thinking was, I guess, I'm just guessing, psychologically, the thinking was he wants new people who have never been rich before. So they go from really dirt poor, they buy the thing that looks like a scam called HEX, which is a better Bitcoin, okay? And it does a 10,000x, and they stake off it, and they yield for it, and it's new whales. I mean, Richard Hart literally has a speech in 2019. He says, this is a chance for you to be a new whale, a chance for you to be a Bitcoin whale, a new whale, right? So that's part of the thinking. Now, obviously, what ends up happening is many, many years later, maybe, I mean, it's up to you, right? Only he can answer it. What do you think about the community? Did it onboard all of the right personalities? Maybe it onboarded too many Rolex watches. Maybe it onboarded too many people who leave when there's red candles. I don't know. You let me know what you think about it. But yeah, just maybe it turned into something where you're kind of like, oh no, I mean, like Eric Wall pretty much would say, and he did say, oh, you made a bunch of trailer park trash people rich, and like, 99% kind of just showed you why they're poor in the first place. And, they just calm out, and then it has pretty much has been disappointing. That's what his interpretation would say, okay? For the rest of us, though, me, how do I see this? I just see this as part of the story, friends. I see it, that's it, man. This is Old Testament, New Testament, right? Yeah, you don't get to change the Bible. Oh, Old Testament. Oh, God throws a thunderbolt at Jacob's ass, and Solomon and whatever, you know what I mean? Like his skateboard basically, engulfs in flames, and he's got to walk to the village now. Whatever it is. That's just Old Testament, right? You don't, I'm not going through Old Testament going, oh, I'd change that, Solomon's skateboard had pink wheels. I'd give him like baby blue wheels. You know what I mean? We're not doing that. It's just you read the story, we're here for the ride, okay? This is Marcus. This is the Zen approach to have. It's happening with or without us, okay? These are the PulseChain core coin prices as well. Had a bit of a dipperoonie, 20%, whatever. Isn't it funny, friends? It comes back to the channel, and then it comes back here. Wouldn't it be funny if Richard was just watching my channel? I mean, I just drew this. I was like, well, this is weird. Channel. It'd be funny if that happens, right? It's just the universe and markets is spooky sometimes. What we're going to do, play some PulseChain music. you've been in the McDonald's drive-thru for quite a long time. I mean, the customers are getting angry. But this is very, very important. World first ping pong coin. Let's go. Now, friends, I have a post here. Some people might say it's a bit spicy. I don't care. Okay, I don't care. Man, friends, I've got some juicy stuff here for you, man. But before we even go through, I need you to understand this context first, and it would really help see where the story is going. Okay, so someone joins. I'm not going to show any usernames. Okay, I don't want people to get bothered or anything out here. Okay, someone joins. So first, what I'm going to do, there's a post here I've made, and I've said, hey, I can't trust LibertySwap now. Personally, you can do what you want. Okay, as soon as I said that, people were like, you know what? You're right. But I started receiving some comments, and I could tell these comments are from people who are a bit different to the average crowd, if you know what I mean. And the way I was getting messages here, I'll let you read my message here. I replied to them. They basically said, no, don't drag LibertySwap into this. It's got nothing to do with it, right? Why'd you drag it? Yeah, remove it. And I said, hey. I go, hey, you are probably from their team, and I get it. Okay, so friends, yeah, they are anonymous. Anonymous, faceless. Yeah, it's rumored Richard Heart behind it. Part of the story. We get it. Okay. I said, you're probably from their team, and I get it. But you have to see it from our perspective. Every single new thing that appears is a rug, scam, psyops, and a letdown. I can't check code. I can't verify. I don't know what comes next. All I know is every building around us is imploding. Okay? I saw BetterBank. I'm like, well, I'm not touching it. It blows up anyway. Okay? I know the story has to play out this way, but you can't expect us to say, hey guys, it's totally fine. Let's just trust these people over there. Okay, that's just, no, it's not going to happen. Okay. And I've said, look, Richard also posted the pDAI chart 4 times, and then it went to 0 as well. And he fudded it 33 times. Okay, so he went from showing a chart and then fudding it. So we're just like, well, you know, because that person was saying, oh, no, Richard Hart never mentioned that just to let you know, friends, so because not everyone up to speed, it's okay, there's a lot of information. Richard Hart, he posted LibertySwap Finance's link, but he never acknowledged BetterBank ever. He never mentioned them, never hinted at them, whatever. I don't know if they're on the website, I don't know if they're on someplace, I have no idea, okay, but I don't think he's ever posted anything on Twitter, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. And now this is the most important point. We are only survivors because we are paranoid. All right? We are not going to put down our spoons and then start welcoming people. Right? Why? Every time we welcome people into the village, right? They eat my berries, they shit on my bed, and they drink from my orange juice cup, and it's room temperature by the time I get my hands on it. Okay? Every time we do that. So I'm not putting down my spoons. Okay, friends, when you keep attacking people in the village, don't be surprised that they start sleeping with their wooden spoons and their sharpened spoons. You get it? But by the way, it's part of the story. They know this. Okay, so I'm not talking combative. Like, oh, do something. No, this is just, it is what it is. He explaining it here for you. Okay? Also, it's kind of telling the story writers, yes, this is part of it, dude. Like, you got to understand, we're only here because you just stop looking at it from I'm God, I'm PulseChain Pioneer controlling all of this. You got to look at it from our perspective. We're only here because we're paranoid. It's literally, friends, you know, Squid Games, everyone around you is dying and you got to be on top of it. I know the story must play out this way, but we are strong survivors and warriors for a reason. We are built this way. And yes, they're two cute little Peppy sorting each other with some Minecraft swords. Now, because you're my friend, I have gotten the cute little sword here for us, okay? Just so we know what's up, all right? This is pretty much us. Now, this person replied. And remember I started the message saying, oh, you're probably from their team, one of the anonymous people, okay? Look at the first thing they say. Yes, we are. Bang. I didn't expect that. They said, yes, we are from the team. They go, look at this. They go, I'm not arguing that Richard isn't a master in psychology and mind manipulation. In fact, if I had to guess, you yourself studied psychology at a high level, more so than any ever working at a trading floor. I hang out with traders in Hong Kong. I can read a chart just like you, but we both know trading is more about manipulation. The more people that believe a narrative, the higher the chance it will play out. That said, we are in this together and we will die on our sword before we sell. So it's strange, like side quest material thrown in. It's almost like, friends, sometimes movies, the directors, what they'll do is, let's say there's a main character. Let's say he's in a lounge room and he's talking to somebody who's important, and there'll be like a book there'll be let's say a book or a poster in the back, and if you just look at it, if you know what that book's about, it's almost like foreshadowing what's going to happen. You know, so it's almost like we're breaking the fourth wall. Where I think maybe Full Metal Jacket or some of these, like, you know, Stanley Kubrick, really high IQ things. They like foreshadow what's going to happen to the main character, and they're kind of like reading about what's happening. It's kind of like, it's very interesting. I don't know if that's part of the design. Maybe not. Maybe it's just how the universe works, and we're in this together. So now that we've established, so that's why I wanted to give you that most important part. Okay, now you can see the next context of what we're saying here. Because you gotta remember, friends, I wake up, everything's rugged again. I go, oh golly gee, here we go. All right. pDAI drops 55% down to a price of exactly 0.00238. Okay. And I know this might sound spicy. I just gotta say, man, because this, I'm a paranoid survivor. Okay. I didn't get here by like welcoming everybody in. Okay. I can't fully trust LibertySwap Finance, because if I could guess a narrative, and I remember narratives mean nothing. Okay. I think there could be a LibertySwap rug. Okay. And look, I'm saying it's not zero. I can't check the code. I don't know who the people are. I've got no idea. Now, I don't think it's going to rug now. Okay, I'm just guessing stuff. Remember, I don't have the script. I'm not an insider. I don't know. But I feel like to make pDAI look good one day in the future, when it's already at $1, I feel like after a giant PulseChain marketing campaign is done on the chain, I feel like it would be really convenient to rug the bridge. Why? Because people are in Ethereum and Binance and Arbitrum and Solana. They move their tokens in, they get the paper, right? They get the IOU. That's what it is, okay? But before they can bridge out, the bridge gets rugged. Now the bridge has all their tokens trapped. They can't access it. It's trapped on the other side. Everybody's stuck in PulseChain. Mayhem. Okay? And then what happens? Well, this is a natively decentralized stablecoin. This looks like the shining city on the hill. Okay, let's play some angel music for everyone. And then everyone learns, oh, crypto's really risky. There's 50,000 bridges and all these chains. And if one of the chains goes down, there's ramifications. It's like a labyrinth maze. Everything, freaking all the paper IOU, it's total mayhem. But if you're on a natively decentralized stablecoin, it smells pretty good, doesn't it? Now, I don't have the script. I don't know. I'm just telling you, if I was running the show and I wanted my coin to look like the best, that's one of the things I would do. Now, I just dropped LibertySwap Finance, and it might have, I know they're sending in towards tailspin, like, no, don't come for us, don't come for us. I'm like, man, you got to understand from our perspective, I'm a peanut brain with everybody else, literally negative 15 IQ. Everything around us is exploding. The Soy Cabal keeps making Twitter spaces every 15 days to say, yeah, I want to zero, yeah. Do you see what I mean? From our perspective, when we don't have the script, okay, this is us leading ourselves to speculate. That's like, you gotta understand, friends. The thing is, okay, PulseChain pioneers, they're looking at our wallets, and so we're holding and we're not trading. So they go, oh, you must feel very confident now. And so they're losing their minds a bit when our mouths are going, everything could rug. So we're not acting with the wallets. Everything is still sitting there. We're not acting like, oh, we're gonna move out. We're just saying stuff. You could be in. You could be in. All of you! Right? You see what I mean? So that's just pretty much the mayhem will die down, and it will eventually go to something else. And by the way, it could be another bridge that comes out. I don't know. But are you starting to see my point? Where like, if you want to make... friends, you know the guy with the mustache? You know the US government? Yeah. If you read history, there are a lot of false flag operations. Yeah? So they'll bomb their own nation. They blow up a building and they say, oh, the enemies did it. We got to go in and get them. Okay. Do you see what I mean, friends? Like, this is just it, okay? Let me just tell you something, right? The mafia do this too, friends. They go, hey, you know, I don't think your house is safe and protected. Okay. And if the person says, nah, I don't need you, the area is pretty like safe. Okay. 3 weeks later, their house gets robbed. Their bicycle gets stolen. They go, oh, what happened? Oh, your bicycle got stolen. Ooh, looks like the crime rate's coming. You see what I mean? They do the crime. You get what I mean? This is it, friends. Now some of you might say, oh, I could never imagine someone doing that. Yeah. That's why you're not a billionaire. That's why you're not on top. It's because you don't think on that game level. All right? Other people do. I'm not saying all this is happening, okay? I'm just saying it's higher than 0% chance. Feel free to shill and use LibertySwap Finance. I can only assume that Richard's plan is to rug that bridge and do that. Now, everyone might say, stop dropping his name. Stop dropping his name. Okay, stop sending my coin to zero every 15 hours. That's the funny part. Remember, friends, I'm in good spirits. Okay, we're in good spirits. I feel bad. There are some people, they lost money on it. There's going to be negotiations and stuff. Maybe it's a lesson, okay? It's a lesson. Not your keys, not your coins. It's not worth picking up pennies in front of the freight train. Okay, because this is the game, friends. Look, do you want to know, friends? Okay, look. People always wondered, Sami, why didn't Richard Heart stake his Ethereum with 166,000 ETH in the PulseChain sacrifice? Why didn't he do that? And I'll tell you, friends, because he's not an idiot. Because he would be risking 166,000 Ethereum for just 3% every year. Yeah, so you're risking 100 for 3. Because in his mind, he's like, that contract, I still fully can't trust it. And the liquidity might not be there if I need to exit anyway. If there's any problem with that Lido DAO and the staking thing, well, what a retard I am. I've risked the whole stack to make 3 units every year. So if you risk 100 to make 3, yeah, man, the longer you roll that in, you just don't know. And remember, in his mind, he might keep it for 10 years. He's like, nah, I don't want to risk that. In 10 years, anything can happen, man. What if these things really do get exploited? They got to roll back to chain or whatever. You see what I mean? So he doesn't think like that. No, friends. If you think like that, you end up getting rugged because you can't be risking 100. You got to invert that. You've got to risk 3 to try and make 100. Okay, actually, being long pDAI is one of those plays, isn't it? But when you're seeking yield, that's what happened with BetterBank, right? It's giving you 100% APY, so it's giving you 2% every 3 days. But look what ends up happening. After 18 days, whatever it is, gone. So you've made 6%, but you lost 100% of the tokens. So as I mentioned here, it turns out the 238 announcement was called that because that's how many times you're about to get bonked in your booty hole. Remember, these tests are designed to take coins from you. I refuse to provide liquidity or participate in any of these things on PulseChain, LibertySwap Finance. They made a message saying, hey, come and provide liquidity for this bridge part. They've actually messaged. I'm like, no, man, we just saw, it's too fresh. You know what I mean? BetterBank conveniently exploited. The culprit gets a nice round number 1 billion pDAI. I think they still have 700 million, I think. And I even saw some baby dolls in the Telegram saying, oh, well, Sami, now that's going to lurk on top of our heads. I go, yeah, maybe they roll that in the next FUD round when it's 10 cents or something. I don't know. I know, friends, we're all so tired. I know, man. I know. I'm with you there every step of the way, man. So, yeah, I'm not touching LibertySwap and their please provide liquidity trap. Psyops message easier. Like, friends, you can't expect us to be diamond hand warriors who survive all this. And then because we don't have the script, we can't fully trust anything. We just can't, man. We you understand, okay, pretty much the shaking out, they've broken so many rules. Richard likes something, Richard doesn't, pulls a link, deletes a message. He's broken so many rules. To me, it's like he really, really, really wants this to get to $1. That's how I'm interpreting it. But friends, I'm a lunatic. You know what I mean? I'm literally a lunatic. So, and remember, we are still in the McDonald's drive-thru line and the customers behind you, man, they're starting to honk their horns. Okay? Beep, beep. So, I'm saying, man, Richard was really willing to break every single rule from Old Testament. All of them, just to make sure no one is getting this unless they really, 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 really deserve it. Making me very bullish, actually. What if that's part of Richard's plan to rug the LibertySwap bridge thing too? I'm not risking any of my coins or sanity. Orchestrated Ponzi dumps and hacks rugging everyone. So this is very important. All tests are designed to take your coins from you. This includes Pump Tires tokens. Yes, Pump Tires is a psyop too. Good luck. This one was obvious though. You know, it's funny. You guys are starting to figure it out. Yeah, I didn't want to say anything, but you guys are starting to figure it out because a lot of people are saying, hey, you're associating all the tokens in the one thing. They go, that's weird. These things are all this short-term thing. It's all psyop, man. It's all psyop, but it's for a reason. It goes, hey, by the way, friends, we learned this how that the 5996 wallet, when it dumped pDAI, it was rumored Richard Heart holding the pDAI wallet. It moved a bit of it into PulseX and it moved a bit of it into Most, one of his Pump Tires tokens. It's almost like it was his signal going, oh, if you're following me, here's PulseX, here's another core coin, and here's a meme coin. If you're a meme coin guy, follow that too. It's basically just trying to throw everyone off. I'm telling you. But by the way, this is how it has to be done. Okay, do you want your 200x or not? It's 200x to $1 now, plus 220x. Do you want your 200? That's what market's saying. Do you want your 200x or not? There's all these thousands of reasons for you to get rid of it, right? So to me, I have zero complaints. I'm like, oh, this is obviously like, where else are you going to get 200x from? You're not going to get it from Bitcoin. I mean, you know, maybe the guy involved in this is the guy dumping 84,000 on you. So you're definitely not getting your 200x there. Don't fail the test. Don't provide liquidity. Don't join farms. Don't trust any of them. Their countdowns are always trash psyops. Some observational info I can share for you. So I'm going to share with you some info. You can take it with a grain of salt or you don't have to. But what I'm going to tell you right now is this.
It's my life, whatever I wanna do. It's my life, wherever I wanna go.
So it's my show and I'm going to tell you whatever it is I want to tell you. 2 weeks ago or so, sometime, I made a post saying, do you remember, friends? I said, BetterBank sounds like a Richard Heart chosen name. Okay, I said, it sounds like, I could, you know, bring up that tweet, but I made that post and I was surprised. Okay, so I said with LibertySwap, I go, oh, it looks like a Richard Heart chosen name. And it was happy and fun and replying and memes and stuff, okay? So I said, LibertySwap looks like a Richard Heart chosen name. Then I said, BetterBank looks like a Richard Heart chosen name. And some people said that's cringe. And I go, no, you don't get it, dude. You're not Richard Heart. You're not a 8-dimensional chess billionaire. You think the name BetterBank is cringe because you're thinking it from your perspective. He's trying to onboard 1 billion people onto the chain. And so they don't understand what the hell an Aave thing. That Aave, what the hell does that do? They're like, no, this is just a better bank. It's a bank that's better. You know what I mean? It puts crypto in. You know what I mean? That's how simple it is, right? So I'm thinking, oh, that looks like a Richard Heart name. As soon as I said that, BetterBank reply. No memes, no pictures, no emojis. And they're like, no, let's not jump to any conclusions here. And they were like really adamant, like, no. I found weird. I'm like, huh? Like you really don't want Richard's name. Okay. I took that as like a signal. Now, obviously, we can see in hindsight why. This is obviously because they knew the plan was to leave a backdoor and rug it. And me guessing Richard Hart's involvement's name was not part of their plan. Okay? Me connecting the dots. Hey, it's part of the same package. You know? Right. So BetterBank, right, it was giving supply 50 to 100% yield for tokens. I mentioned it was fishy. Cash Money called them out, friends. Cash Money, well done, sir, was calling them out. I'm going to show all these messages. The ultimate conclusion, do not put your PulseChain calls or P tokens on any protocol. Liberty Rug will probably rug in the future, trap all your future crypto coins and make pDAI look amazing because it's natively decentralized. I don't have that. I'm reading from an imaginary script. But as far as I'm concerned, what if it does happen? Okay, I'll never forgive myself. Do you see what I mean? And it turns out, you should have never used a non-Richard Heart bridge. That was the whole lesson. Like, I'm spooked. Imagine like that happens at 30 cents or $1. I don't know. Imagine that happens. It's a nightmare scenario. And you know what, man? Friends, if this was 3 years ago, I could already tell. I watched a lot of crypto coffee videos where he's saying, guys, it's all imaginary horribles. You know, so everyone says Richard Hart's going to be, friends, everyone used to joke that, this is the sad part. This breaks my heart. This is true. You know what the imaginary horribles were? That HEX would go down 99%. It happened. That Richard Hart would get attacked by the SEC. It happened. That he would get sued by Interpol. It happened. He couldn't stream anymore. It happened. Every single imaginary horrible literally happened. Imaginary horrible. Everything. I mean, Gary Gensler went out of his way to literally post about Richard Hart, called him a scammer. Do you see what I mean? So, like, I'm not living in a world where I go, I just witnessed 4 imaginary horribles in a row. I'm definitely going to, like, not be paranoid anymore. So, this is just what happens. But we're here to laugh and have fun. Good thing is, though, pDAI's price recovered the dip and my nipples remain pegged. So, look, friends, this is it. If I was Richard and I'm looking at me, yeah, maybe he's like, damn it, Summer, you're saying too much. Shut up. And I'm saying, no, do you want warriors or not? Okay. Do you want people who can think for themselves or not? Because if you want people who think for themselves, this is what you get. Okay. I wake up every day and I'm looking at the sun and I'm like, is that really the sun? You know what I mean? This is it. This is how you survive in the game. As you can see, literally every single thing in this game is going to take your money. I mean, friends, we're literally watching the Bitcoin treasury stock bubble appearing, you know? So, like, we're just seeing this time and time again. And we're dealing with a whole new field here. So that's why you can see, friends, my spicy post, it wasn't really spicy. I'm trying to help. Okay. What's the worst thing that happens? Let's say they don't rug. What's the worst thing that happens? Okay, instead of taking 2 minutes to bridge in, you got to take 30 minutes. Okay, yeah, but you keep all your coins. You keep all your coins, you know? I mean, I'd use this example. You're walking down a path. There's 2 paths, okay? You're trying to go to the village. One path is dark forest, woods. It's just 2 minutes, okay? But there's bears, there's red candles in there, there's walking sell buttons, there's literally just walking signs that say press the sell button. It's a dark, dangerous path, 2 minutes, okay? If you get attacked there, you lose all your money. Yeah, the other path takes 20 minutes. There's roses and fairies, and it's safer. Okay, which one do you want to keep taking? Yeah, you can take the fast bridge, take it a few times, but I'm thinking for the next 5 years, right? What you're witnessing, friends, is pretty much this happens in the zombie movies. I'm serious. In the zombie movies, when a couple of people die, they keep dying. What someone always starts losing their mind. Which I was like, you know what I mean? That's what happens because you're just watching everybody die around you, and you're wondering why you're still alive. That's what it's making you question. This was the dip. Went up here. So let's continue. Now, when I made my tweet and post, overwhelming support by everyone. Everyone was like, you know what, Sammy? I really like LibertySwap Finance. I do too. I like them. But everyone's asking, are you part of the Psyops plans? We don't know, man. Are you part of the trap? Because if you want to go that far, technically, friends, remember, there's only one safe bridge. The Omni bridge, which is Richard Hart's bridge from Ethereum and PulseChain. Okay? Are we going to get slapped? Friends, this is what you don't know, right? Like I said, what if Ethereum's target's not going to go high enough? What if they have to push that button? I think about stuff like that because I don't want to mess this up. I'm not going to risk messing this up whatsoever. And there's no way to make any of us feel the tiniest bit of guilt when we literally watched this thing go to zero. We literally watched it go to zero pretty much twice again in a row. You know what I mean? So, like, yeah, I mean, I think it's doing pretty well though. I've even got it here, right? Remember that time Caddy sent PulseChain pDAI to zero and then it pumped 19x in a straight line? Remember that, friends? Some hardcore dominatrix. 19x. Okay, so yes, we just saw these big capitulations. Now we're going to have some fun, friends. We're going to have a bit of fun.
If you live like that, do you know what people think about you?
By the way, the Indian girl in there, I know you can't hear it, but she's saying, she goes, if you look like that, do you not care what people think of you? And then the Indian dude saying, it's my life. It's so cold, man. What a song. Now, look, I'm begging you. If you know of any coin out there where there is a Soy Cabal that goes out of their way to make Twitter spaces or posts to say that something's dead, please let me know. Because I'm letting you know there is a 100% success rate so far of whenever pDAI goes down and there's an event, I get DMs, tweets, and tags by many people from the Soy Cabal. Okay? I don't even bother reading the messages. And it's always at the bottoms. Every single time. pDAI. See these Twitter spaces? BetterBank is getting exploited. It literally, friends, look at this. They all came out. All of it. You're probably wondering as well, friends. So, I mean, what does BetterBank even have to do with pDAI? It's just they that's why, friends, it's full psyops. Let me show you again. Look what they did. That they came out to attract all the weak hands. You see that? 100% APY. See? And look, the biggest amount of money supplied was pDAI, 17 million. Okay, now it was PulseX, and pDAI stablecoin, right? It's just, man, I'm just telling you, friends, this is, you know why it's sus? Why didn't you guys put HEX or INC? Why? What was the reason? Why not put HEX or INC? Why put Pulse and PulseX? That's why it really makes me believe someone's out here to shake the Soy Cabal. To shake them out. Remember, I've got no ill will against anyone, but you gotta admit, it is funny. We're having fun. Remember, the whole point of this is the Economist's joke, okay? The Economist's joke. I posted this picture that I made, and I have the Economist's joke here. We can read it together. Okay? I say this to you all the time. This is the Economist's joke. An economist and a friend are walking down the street. The friend stops and says, "Look, there's a $20 bill on the ground." The economist replies, "That can't be true. If there were a real $20 bill on the ground, somebody would have picked it up already." Huh. It's literally, it's the best joke, man. It's so classical. Huh, don't bother bending your straight posture to pick up that $20 bill on the floor. It's probably fake. Someone would have picked it up by now. And that's why I'm just showing you this is, man, people just walk by opportunity. They go, no, the market is totally efficient. It should be at zero. And then it literally rockets up 140% just literally 2 hours later. God bless you, man. I mean, what a great life we live. And I've also shown you, friends, the BetterBank, there was a response. "Hey, BetterBank hacker, the team at BetterBank would like to offer you to keep the current funds that you have bridged off as a bug bounty. Please return 700 million pDAI currently in your exploiter wallet. If you do so, we will withdraw the public bounty we have to track you down and recover funds from you. We await your reply." Friends, you know what I'm seeing? Like, there's like 8 people on the chain, obviously metaphor. And like, I'm seeing big events, and like, this is Ethereum mainnet story stuff. You know what I mean? Friends, it's like they've brought a blockbuster action movie to like your tiny little town. Do you know what I mean? Like, they brought, let's say, Arnold Schwarzenegger in his peak, and they're going to blow up cars and stuff. And it's like the tiniest little Oklahoma city. And they're like, we don't have any buildings or bridges or anything out here like New York or any of these places you can film. You know what I mean? We just got like a wooden shed here and some sheep or whatever. Do you see what I mean? It feels like it's really out of place for that. But that's also my interpretation. I'm a nut job. Of course I'm a nut job. And obviously I'm biased. I want this thing to succeed. I want it to succeed, don't I? And the chain too. So, 99 Capital puts it perfectly, friends. It is like the early days of Bitcoin. Everyone desperately wants your pDAI. They are going to try repeatedly to scam, trick, deceive, and encircle you. Resist. Your future depends on it. I hope by now you see it. So like, yeah. All of us were strengthened completely. And you might say, but Sami, how are they possibly going to orchestrate the next one? Well, my Habibi Albi, you got to remember, there will be, I predict, and my predictions don't mean anything, okay? I'm guessing when pDAI is at 10 cents, I'm going to get some very sinister messages from people. And they're going to say, hey, pDAI is definitely going to $1, right? Because I just threw in 300,000 on my family savings. It's definitely going to $1, right? They're gonna say that, friends, okay? I know they're going to say that. Every time it goes up, and I can just see myself go, you didn't like it at 0.1 cents? Now you like it at 10 cents, 100x higher? I mean, it's up to you, but, I'm going to be feeding the domain, but that is, you've loaded them in, and then any story you bring out, doesn't even matter what the story is, friends. If pDAI just goes from 10 cents back to 3, you know, that person who put it, then there will, trust me, there will be people putting in 300 grand up there when it's now only worth 100 grand, you know, and they'll be like really paying attention to like any potential FUD that comes out from anywhere. Decoy stablecoin, right? Caddy's back. Oh no, we're on the wrong chain. PulseChain was a psyop the whole time. There's another chain. PulseChain 2, whatever it is, you know. I was having fun here. Yeah, I almost sometimes I think to myself, man, what if like I guessed too many things and like, you know, the puppet master, he's like, damn it, I was going to use that. Now I have to make a whole new FUD scenario. Oh, man, it's fun. What do you think, friends? Psyops, do you think it's all planned? I think it's all planned. I'd like to know what do you think it's like what's happening from here? We're around 200x, bit over 200x away to $1, 220, 230x, whatever it is. Hopefully Ethereum continues to pump and we just move on to the next part of the story. Yeah, I'm really curious what you think. Like, subscribe, belly button, I'll catch you soon.